Woehoe! Niet vergeten de Dutch angle leader, hè?
Happy
Hey
May,
guys!
everybody.
Hey.
Happy May the 4th.
All right. Happy May the 4th. May the 4th be with you.
Yes, it's May the 4th.
And you are celebrating, Roland.
We
Behind you
are
already.
celebrating because Dave completed his campaign with tremendous success. He gained a lot of backers and a lot of money. And issue number 2 of Perfect 10 will be coming out. Yeah!
Woo!
Yeah, man.
We celebrate
Congrats,
on that.
man.
Here, we're going to drink on it.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
wow! You came prepared.
Wait a minute. I need to have a drink. Well, let me just coming back real soon.
We'll
I just
wait,
came off
we'll
from
wait.
work, so yeah, it took a little bit longer. So sorry for waiting.
No worries, man. Take your time.
Good.
Oh man. Oh, thank you, man. I didn't expect this.
No, that was the idea. And Marine, like he said, it was just from work, so he was a bit caught up with the moment. But
Welcome,
celebrations.
David
Glass. So
Feed. Welcome. And we have Bristolian Dave.
Hey, Bristolian, how are
Hello,
you
guys.
doing?
Dave, man, how you doing?
You can tell who the alcoholic in the room is.
Me.
I
The one
can't
with the
wait to
camera
open
switched
it.
off. Yeah. Okay, man. Welcome everyone. Okay. Oh, you have your Star Wars shirt
Of
for
course.
the occasion.
And I changed the figures again.
Yeah, of course, man. You need to change the background. What
Oh,
are you
man.
drinking,
All right, here we
Marinus?
go.
Well, I got hey, look at the lightsaber colors. Whee! No,
Ah.
I got the drop shot, but I don't know what's going on with my background all the time. It's also, living in the Twilight Zone. And I'm too lazy to get a glass, so I'm doing it the old-fashioned way.
Sure, why not, man?
It's a bit
Proost.
too much. Proost
Okay. Proost.
op deze campagne. Salute.
Thanks.
Lekker.
On my campaign, yeah. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yummy.
Drop shot. Yeah. This looks like a special episode of A Drink with Brink.
True.
Cheers to
guys.
that. I really love your new show, A Drink with Brink. I think it's really nice to have these one-on-one talks with creators and get to know them a little better. Who's the person behind the creations? And I saw David Feed is in the chat as well.
Hey, Mr. Feed. How you doing, man?
How was your drink with Brink?
Yeah, it was very cool with David. I think I never talked to him like that. I met him in the chat, and I've seen him on shows with you, Marinus.
Yeah.
But yeah. But
we are doing with Bristolian Dave also the movie shows at Bristolian Dave's channel. So check that out if you like that. So we're doing that almost till now every week, and I am there every week also. Although I'm just I have a lot of different hours when it comes to working, but somehow it always works out. So we're
just make it work
at Bristolian's Dave with Talking the Pictures, by the way, on Bristolian's Dave channel, and then we're going to talk about a certain topic about movies. So
it's tomorrow night apparently.
Tomorrow night, yes.
Cool. I'm gonna check
I believe
it
it was 9 p.m. or 20:30. I'm not entirely sure, but Mr. Bristolian Dave in the chat can tell you the exact time.
What's the topic for tomorrow?
That's a good question.
Like
I said, I just came back from work.
It's a surprise. Okay.
I believe. Let me double check if I can find it. Dave, help me out. Bristolian Dave. I mean, I'm gonna search for it. Just give me a second.
So Roland, what did you do today? You worked?
No. Today, this week is holidays, so I spent the day with the kids, and we watched a lot of. We watched Winter Soldier and the Falcon. We binged that, and today we watched Pacific Rim. So good times.
The first one?
The first one, yes.
Of course, the first one.
What do you think about it?
Well, I already saw it many years ago. I didn't think I saw it twice. This was the second time. And I think the boys liked it, and especially my eldest. He's making these trading cards. He's drawing and thinking of trading cards with monsters. It's a kind of Pokemon thing, but then with monsters. And he had a lot of monsters. So I think this is a perfect inspirational movie for him and his creations.
It's a high budget popcorn flick that I really liked. Yeah. Second one is trash in my opinion, but the first one I really liked. Yeah.
The second one would probably fit in your theme tomorrow. Big budget movies that flopped like a fish. Yeah.
Oh, there's so many then.
Probably made a bunch of money. I'm not sure, but I didn't like the second one.
No.
Well, that's maybe that's a discussion for your stream tomorrow. What considers a flop? Is it critical bombs or financial bombs?
Financial, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they are very good, but they didn't perform that well.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of movies that are, doing very well, but never got a sequel because the movie audience didn't like it, or the story was going nowhere. So I believe when I call a flop, it's not more the financial thing, but it's more that I want to see it or not. If I'm let's say Pacific Rim, it was so entertaining for me that I say, hey, okay, let's give me part 2. Let's see what it's all about.
Yeah.
And then
everyone wanted the sequel. Yeah,
exactly. And then I saw the movie and okay, no, the special effects were good, but the movie was, oh my god, it's not really good. Yeah,
I don't get it, man. They have kaijus, giant robots, and they still mess up.
What can go wrong, right?
Yeah.
Apparently, a lot can go wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like writing and movie direction.
Anyway,
it's true.
Dave says you'll be discussing that tomorrow. So cool, man. Mm-hmm. I'll try and watch it.
So we won't discuss it tonight. That's bad. We'll discuss other movies another time. Maybe more comic-related movies.
Yes.
So Marina's worked today, and Roland had a day off, and I made something today. I made a. Let me show it. 1 sec.
Hi, Mr. Phonic. Welcome to the chat.
Mr. Phonic, hey, hello.
Oh, Mr. Phonic. Woo. Hey, man.
Hola.
Welcome to the show, man. Okay, so we closed the Perfect 10 campaign last Monday.
Yeah, congrats, man. Really deserve it. I didn't thank you. Congratulate you personally, but from a Dutch guy, with only 2 comics, you did a fantastic job, man. You really did great. Absolutely, well deserved.
I'm going to take a spot here. So issue 2
for number 2.
Come on, give it to us.
And Roland and everyone who backed for the physical copies will also get the stretch goals. And one of the later stretch goals, the high-end stretch goals, was a mini stand of 10. Yeah. And today I made a little prototype. So I have it here.
Let's see it.
Let me see.
It's big.
Let me see if I can make it bigger.
Cool. Yeah, I saw it on Twitter, but I didn't realize it was so big.
Yeah, it fits inside a comic book, so it can be folded. There's a stand here, you see?
Yeah.
Smart.
So you can fold it, and it will fit together with the comic books. Awesome, right? Look at the art.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So this one is quite thin still, but the actual stand will be a bit thicker. So, and I have to make about 200 of these. So it's a lot of work, but a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Do we have to cut it out also from the cardboard, with a scissor, or?
Oh, that's a good one, man, and that will save me a lot of time. Yeah.
And then make it as some kind of a puzzle. Well, if you follow the dotted lines and you cut it right out, and you have the perfect stands, the perfect 10 stands. Yeah.
Thanks, Dave. Yeah, so that was kind of fun, and the other stretch goals we're still working on, and we are preparing print files, and so everything is in motion.
David is asking if the stand will be waterproof. He's asking that for a friend.
Waterproof. Yeah, sure, man.
Maybe somebody cries when he reads the comic or speaks with a lot of consumption. I don't know. Asking for a friend.
All right. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Well, you can try.
Are you going to shower with it, Dave? David? What are you going to do with it?
Why would you need this waterproof? I don't get it. But sure, man.
He wants to take it everywhere.
Yeah.
Outside. I would. If you would have this on a t-shirt, I would have wearing it right now.
Yeah.
Even on May the 4th.
Yeah, just laminate it. Yeah. David Feet can laminate it. I think if you need to put it beside your bathtub, for instance, then it's better to laminate it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, man. Okay, guys. Every week we talk about topics. And this one, we weren't sure what to do. And we had a few topics that I didn't really feel like doing. Mm-hmm. And Roland mentioned something that I thought could be pretty interesting. And that was...
I put a whole lot of ideas. Which one
okay,
is
it? So I picked one because we couldn't choose. I just picked one. And so today, the topic was superpowers of... So we deal with comics about superheroes a lot. Many of us grew up with Marvel, DC, and we love these comics. And we've seen a lot of characters, thousands. And we are creating characters too. And so, Roland, you thought it would be fun to talk about the evolution of superpowers?
Yeah, or just superpowers in general. I mean, superheroes are synonymous with their superpowers. Yeah, otherwise it wouldn't be a superhero, it would be another character. And my question was kind of, and it was triggered actually by David Feet. No, not David Feet. Sorry, David. The creator of the Embrace.
Oh, Michael Oden. Yeah.
Michael Oden.
Yeah.
And because he made a character which ghosts kind of embraced him in this kind of supernatural suit, if I get this right. I'm very new with indie comics, so people just know I'm an general the big three comic book lover. Used to be. I'm now dwindling down. I'm finding my way more and more into indie comics.
Cool, man.
So I'm glad that Dave brought me into this world, and I'm watching all the YouTube feeds. And Embrace got
bringing
my
in
eye
new
as well.
people. Yeah.
Bringing in new people. And so I was thinking, what can we still create original powers? And I know the Embrace is a kind of make me think of the darkness in the sense of powers, and instead of ghosts, the darkness has enveloped him. But can we still create? And I asking particularly you guys as comic book creators, can we still create original powers? And if so, not the powers that are already developed for characters that have been in existence for 60 years. Are their powers still how can I say useful nowadays, or important, or can they be used? Are they still relevant?
Yeah.
So I was kind of thinking there. I mean, like the Flash can run, but suddenly he could do much more with just a speed power. When you are super fast, you can punch super fast, probably. You can breathe super fast. You can run over water. Then it evolved, and suddenly he could go back and forward in time. Mm-hmm. So that's also a super nice idea to grow and on an already established power.
Yeah, it's with new writers and new creative teams. They want to add their own thing to a character they're working on. So you get an extension of the superpowers.
Yeah.
For instance, Superman started completely different when he started. and he didn't get his flight abilities until
Way later.
later.
Yeah.
A few issues later, I think. So these things change, and I'm not sure if it's always for the best, because these new abilities that it gave the Flash, it starts with the basic concept. You have this guy that's the fastest guy on the planet. Okay, cool, done. Concept done. But then the next writer comes and he starts to think, okay, so what does it mean to be the fastest? So all these time travel elements were brought in, and for instance, he can vibrate between the molecules, so he can go through solid matter, and it's and at some point, to me, it becomes a little bit much, a little bit crazy. I'm kind of a fan of powers with set limits.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, for instance, when it comes to weakness, I mean, let's say Superman, the most known superhero probably of all time in all the world, in our world, maybe along with Spider-Man and Batman, has, he's weak to magic, to kryptonite, to the red sun, red solar. Am I forgetting something? Probably that's mostly it. But what's the weakness of what? What am I missing? Huh?
Mr. Phonics says, can pass through solid matter. Sounds like the voice of my ex-girlfriend. Okay. Hey, man.
Yeah.
That's a superpower too, man.
Yeah, that's also a superpower, man. Ex-girlfriends, man. Don't talk me about it. But then, what is the weakness, physical weakness, of the Flash? I mean, yes, if he is susceptible to sounds, I don't think so. I mean, he can be stopped in various ways. I mean, he is not super strong, but if he has a real, superpower weakness, I don't know, actually.
I don't know either. I must say, I don't read much Flash, so.
Oh, I love Flash.
Yeah,
I love that. I mean, it's one of my because along with Batman, in my opinion, Flash has the most interesting rogues gallery. I mean, all this his foes are very creative and interesting. I love the original Mirror Master. I love the Top, that spinning guy. Really love that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and also the newer characters that came after that. Like the rogues gallery. Like with Mr. Freeze. No, not Mr. Freeze. What am I saying? It's not Mr. Freeze. That's Batman's. What am I forgetting? Leonard Snart is his name.
I'm not familiar with
Captain Cold. Yes, that's it. Captain Cold.
Right.
Yeah. But
so at some point, doesn't a character become too powerful? For instance, how can anyone beat a guy that's the fastest guy on the planet?
Yeah.
Can travel through time, can move through matter. What kind of villains do you have to create to counter that?
Yeah.
Well, Superman kind of villains.
Like Adam? It's.
I don't know.
Are there too much?
Are there any villains that beat Flash in a sense?
Well, Reverse Flash. Captain Cold gallery, because
I think that's always kind of lame. You have a supervillain that basically has the same superpowers as a superhero.
Exactly.
And I think these mirror images, I think they're always lame and boring and unimaginative.
That's like that's like, okay, let's make the evil body double or something.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, I have a defense for that. Well, it's more like it's not so much the superpower, but it's more like the character itself. I mean, the Reverse Flash called Eobard Thorne, and sorry, I probably butchered that name. He comes from the future, and basically he got the same powers, but in the recent, latest couple of years ago, he Well, Barry Allen and other speedsters has a connection with the Speed Force, and then suddenly he has the anti-Speed Force or the reverse Speed Force. So it's basically canceling the normal Speed Force, and that I don't like that storyline because it goes a little bit too overboard with that. I rather has that they are tapping into the same power instead of, well, I'm the bad guy and I have the reverse colors, so I have also the reverse Speed Force. I mean, that's a little bit it reminds me of Bizarro, that Superman character. Instead of have heat vision, as he has ice vision, and then have flame breath instead of ice breath, something like that. I really don't like that. So I think personally they went a little bit overboard with the whole Speed Force thing, because it becomes an own entity, and then so besides from the powers that the Flash and all the other Flashes has, it also adds the Speed Force as a power source, as a
like the Force.
Exactly, or like the sun when Superman gets his powers from. So I don't know. It's a little bit too, but I still like the Reverse Flash as a character, not so much as his powers, but as a character, he's a great villain. But
Let me see. Bristolian Dave made a comment. I think it's a question of how the power manifests and what they do with it. Look at Superman's heat ray. Is Cyclops' I-beam just a copy? What do you think, Roland?
I got a theory. Let's go ahead.
Everything is a kind of a copy. So,
sure.
And I think I don't know if Superman's heat vision. I'm not. Probably Marinus is the big comic book library here. I don't think Superman had his heat vision from the beginning. I think it was an added thing again. I don't know if it was after Fleischer animations, but yeah, I per sec only per power. I think the Cyclops power is more intriguing because he only has that. He doesn't have any superpowers. He only has he can't control only by closing his eyes or using a red crystal kind of glasses. I think that makes it different and interesting, not the superpower on its own. How they treat it, how they use it, and I think you have a power you can't control, which makes sense. I think it creates a lot of challenges for character-wise and for his powers-wise. It's also immediately his weakness. When you smash his glasses off, he blasts away and he doesn't control it.
Yeah.
Now I don't want to be coming over as a comic snob or something, but there's a difference between Cyclops' powers and Superman's heat vision, because Superman's heat vision is literally heat, while it established that Cyclops has force. So it's not generating heat.
It's a concussive blast.
Exactly.
The optic blast of Cyclops.
But I know what Bristolian Dave is referring to, because it also has the red eye beams. I must say I'm a big fan of eye beams. It just I think it's really cool instead of using the powers and shoots blast in it, or using the brain.
The visual effect is pretty cool.
Yeah. I really love that.
But that's the thing with Superman. He's just too powerful. He has too many things he can do, and it's very difficult, I think, to write for him. At least I have a few very powerful characters in the genuine verse, but most of them are really not Superman level, because I want to give them challenges, besides throwing gods at them, for instance. So and if you have a character like Superman plus a character like the Flash, who are in the same team, which never made any sense to me, but then the Flash always has to be the fastest, because it's the only power Flash has. It's the fastest man on the planet. It's what he's known for. So Superman can never be the fastest,
No.
No.
Anyway, that's my thought about having too many abilities.
speaking of, coming back a little bit to Superman, there was a storyline that Superman has a new power.
No.
Yeah, it's a couple of years ago. It seems that he can store the solar energy, and then it builds up, and then it comes as a what they call a solar flare power.
Yeah.
So it doesn't happen often. I'll see it a couple of times, and then they don't, revisit it again. So probably probably people have some kind of a backlash because he got another power and he's already very overpowered. I think the most interesting thing when it comes to Superman's powers is that John Byrne, he redone the whole his power set. Well, not much so his power set, but he's weaker, and I like that. But later in comics, he became Superman again. So yeah.
Like Birdman. Okay.
Yeah. Like Birdman.
Yeah, but I knew about that. I saw that a few years ago about this new power.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really lame because it basically gives the writer a deus ex machina. You can just unleash that and solve any problem. It's really stupid.
Can I? Oh Jesus Christ! I wanted to show you the picture, but I got some ad blocker bullshit.
So
let me see if I can.
I
have a picture. Is Superman's new powers.
Oh, do you have it already? Okay, let me check. Yes, that's exactly it. So it's supposed to be very, very, very powerful, like in some kind of a heat explosion. Looks real cool. Oh yeah, Wolverine. Oh Jesus, that was terrible. It was terrible.
Yeah, they come up with these strange things just to do something new, I suppose.
But it's not
new. It seldom improves upon the basic concept. So heat claws for Wolverine.
What does it do extra? Right, he can already cut through everything.
Yeah, Wolverine is way too overpowered. I think I lost interest in them, and I think a lot of I think that the pitfall of a lot of comic book creators, which would turn me down, is that everybody makes their own Superman. Everybody makes a hero with tremendous powers and like a Superman complex, I think is even referred in the name. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that interests anything that's boring.
The thing is, Superman is kind of a superhero archetype. So every superhero universe has their own Superman.
Mm-hmm.
I get that, but what you need to do is do something new. Yeah. So basically, you make your own version of it, and not a blatant copy. So
right. Maybe I'm not sure if it's related, but Apis Bin Senin has a question for Roland. Maybe if I'm not sure if you want to address it.
Roland, it's up to you what you want to do with this.
Sure. Let's see. Where is it? Is it on the screen?
Can you show the full design of the T-shirt you are wearing now with standing full screen and remove the earphone? Not sure why.
Oh yeah, sure.
You need to make them bigger.
I know.
Okay,
there we go. Woohoo!
Yeah, it's the classic, man.
Enjoy, man. Look at that. That's great art.
Yeah. Cool. So coming a little bit back to the topic. I mean, are there still new, interesting ways to create powers? Yes and no. Well, like I said, there's a million characters in the world and in superhero comics with different powers. I think it's hard. I mean, you have people with electromagnetic powers, power absorbing powers, and speed powers. I don't know. It's hard. I mean, you can maybe give someone powers from the periodic table, maybe. I don't know. I always like the villain. It's not a really original, but it's called Radioactive Man from Marvel. He battled Thor, and he was also in what's the series? I forgot. He was a part of a group. Wasn't that
The Thunderbolts.
exactly that? I don't know. I just, although he was green, like radioactive, and he shoots radioactive beams, but he can do way more than that. But they never really show what he can do with his radioactive powers. I mean, radioactive, radiation is in many different forms, right? You can get cancer, you can incinerate people, you can.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
let's say you can do a lot with them, but it seems that they never, explore that. Maybe because he was a little bit too overpowered. Could be. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, the thing is, he started out as a villain, and with the Thunderbolts, he became a hero. And radioactive powers are very difficult to give to an heroic character because most effects are pretty negative.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Sorry for interrupting. They did a new character, an Asian girl with radioactive powers, but she was always in a suit because she was giving off radiation, and they was
all right.
Yeah, well, not this
hazmat.
One. Hazmat.
It's called hazmat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Radioactive man. Yeah.
Well, this is the wrong radioactive man, but
I know.
But I know this one as well. Yeah. Yeah, and indeed, hazmat. They changed a little bit to make it more, interesting, and somehow they did. But like what's Marvel always doing, and I'm going to rag on Marvel again, they have create some new compelling characters, and then they don't know what to do with anymore, and then toss them aside and create new ones until they don't know what to do with anymore, and then toss them aside again. And so we have a million new superhero groups and superheroes that they absolutely don't know what to do with them, which is a shame. Which is a shame.
And instead, they create new derivative heroes of popular characters. That's
Miss Marvel or Kamala Khan or Riri Williams, another boring character. Yeah.
So the Miss Marvel is just kind of a Mr. Fantastic, right?
Right, but
I don't know the difference between those two.
Well, I'm not sure what the difference is, but I think she's more like a
Elastic Man.
Yeah, exactly. But with less powers.
To be honest, I never liked the Elastic powers. I didn't like Elastic Man at all. I didn't like Mr. Fantastic. I think his character was kind of nice, but his powers weren't, not really. And again, you can do everything when you're Elastic. You can make a parachute which is ridiculous. At least they had restrictions on Kamala's powers. He only could form big legs and big fists. Mm-hmm. But I think I don't know the character, so maybe her power set is not for my taste. But maybe her character is quite nice because probably she struggles with her powers and with being a teenager and with her religion. I don't know. It could be, but then it could be more interesting.
Yeah, well, I think the problem with Kamala Khan is that I could be wrong. This is just my bias, but when you if you have a teenage girl, or you are a girl and you want to look up to a superhero that you really like, I mean, having big fists and big legs and big fists, is that a really a superpower that you really want to have, instead of like Wonder Woman, flights, superpowers, really, really nice, great characters, lasso of truth, something like that. I mean, turning I really think that girls would like.
Well, Wonder Woman already has that, and kind of Captain Marvel also already has Superman-like powers. At least now, she didn't have before. Yeah. But I think Kamala's take is quite nice, and especially for girls. I think she's quite popular within girls as well. And again, you don't have to be super overpowered, because I think Wonder Woman is pretty overpowered, pretty powerful. She's on par with Superman almost.
Sure.
Yeah. So why not a kind of a girl that has less powers, restricted powers, but deals with the powers, like Spider-Man. I know Spider-Man is super crazy strong. He keeps his punches. I think he's stronger than Captain America. That is his struggle. That he has this responsibility and he doesn't want to show all his power. Why not? That could be a great example for girls as well. It doesn't mean that they have to be as strong as Wonder Woman. I think Starfire or maybe some parts of the Raven from the DC is a good example.
Yeah, I think Raven from DC is very cool because he has a really cool background with Trigon as a father.
Isn't Spider-Gwen a very, very popular character among girls?
Man. Yeah, I have some.
Spider-Gwen.
Let me. Okay, I need to get this out of my system a little bit because I'm always the negative. I know, but I really dislike the whole Spider-Man family. It reminds me of, Tony Stark has all those suits and Batman has all those Bat family. The Superman has now a family, and the Hulk is now a family, and Wolverine is now a family.
Nice, cozy.
No, it's
for some reason, always the characters that are the most popular or the most used.
Yeah,
that's because they have the most writers on it. They need more stories, and so they create many side characters, and so it makes sense. You have like 20 Hulks now, for instance.
Wolverine as well. Wolverine has Deacon, has X-23. I think he has different.
Oh no! Wolverine. It's now Wolverine, not X-23. That's me sarcastically saying, because that's what the social justice warriors call the. She's Wolverine now, X-23. Yeah.
All right. What is Wolverine now then?
Wolverine is still Wolverine, but the X-23 is also Wolverine. So if you don't like it, you're a misogynist, Roland. So keep up with your game, man.
No, but that's what she called it like back then, and I still think it's a perfect name, and I still think she's like she has the same power set as Wolverine.
Yeah.
But I think her character is quite different, and I think that's sometimes just the character make the difference, how they write the character. Because I think in the beginning, I thought X-23 was a perfect character, like a very small girl, very young, and she had to deal with this amazing power set, and that's intriguing. Now I think she's grown. She's a woman now. She grown into adulthood, and I think that kind of. I didn't follow the character anymore, so I don't really have an opinion about it. Apparently, she's Wolverine now as well. Like you also have Hawkeye, the female version.
Just make every male character, make a female character too, call them exactly the same, and no one's confused.
I'm waiting for a female Spider-Man.
Yeah,
not called Spider-Woman, but called Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say with the whole Gwen, the Spider-Gwen, because we have Miles Morales, we have Spider-Woman, we have Madam Web, we have another Spider-Woman who is now Madam Web, and then we have Arachnids. Then we have probably another Arachnid character. I don't know. Yeah, and then we have Spider-Man, and we have Silk.
Oh, Silk, yeah. You also have Silk.
Like I said, and they are. One is from another dimension, Spider-Gwen, which has the same powers. Then we have Miles Morales from another dimension who has similar powers, except for one or two difference. Yeah. And then we have Silk, who has the same powers, as far as I know, as Spider-Man. So I think it takes away all the magic and the fun, in my opinion, of course, what Spider-Man is. If you have too many Spider-Man characters just to appease certain groups of people, that Spider-Man character is not interesting for me anymore.
No, it's thinned out. And
exactly.
and that's the only I like the Miles Morales character. Because it was kind of a reboot of the young Peter Parker, and he was also from
the Ultimate Universe.
Yeah. What Peter Parker was in the 60s, he's like nowadays Miles Morales. He was like from a poor working family, like Peter Parker was in the 60s.
Right.
And what I don't like is I like that he has certain powers. He has the Venom Blast. Like Spider-Woman, but he can turn invisible. Nice, okay, cool. But then leave one of his spider powers out, one of the other ones.
Exactly.
Give him less strength. Doesn't leap that high. Maybe he's not as smart as Spider-Man, so he doesn't create his own web. That's more interesting. Why would you add up powers if you just can swap them in. That would be much more interesting. And then give him the same villains as Spider-Man probably, because the Ultimate Spider-Man died and he kind of followed in the footsteps. And that would be way more interesting to see how he deals with those villains, but with a different power set and with a different character.
So is someone's house burning?
No, it's my dishwasher.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay. But then again, to add to your story a little bit, Roland, don't call him Spider-Man. Just call him something else. I mean, Gwen Stacy, the Spider, whatever. Spider Gwen is now called Spider Ghost. I think. Well, okay, that's more better name. Exactly.
It's a little better than giving your super.
Yeah, with
hero name, the same name as your own name.
Just like Gwenpool, right? It's
that's when you get superpowers, you are Super Marinus. That's
At least Silk had a kind of original name.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I love Silk. Wasn't she also have an affair with? But it's completely off topic. Maybe we shouldn't talk about that. But yeah, I love Silk. But then she became. I don't know. She became.
I didn't.
Let's leave it at that.
Yeah, I didn't find her origin story believable. Being locked up for 23 years somewhere, or I don't know, same age as Peter Parker at that time. Then she was locked up by Ezekiel.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Ezekiel. This is also.
He has spider powers.
Is he still alive? Is he still alive?
I don't know. No, I think he died in one of the. By Merlin, I think. Or at least he was part of that storyline.
Yeah.
But that's
you have Kane, right?
Yeah, but those are clones.
Yeah. Oh man, I forgot.
Clone and we have Scarlet Spider.
And Ben Riley.
But
Kane again has a different. Kane has a different power set than Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Kind of evolved. And Kane is such a complex character.
Mm-hmm.
I really love the character of Kane. He's such a good anti-villain. He wants to do good because he has the Peter Parker genes in him, but he is also created and he's a clone and he went ups and downs and he went to be a hero, try to a villain, try to do good and then being hero again. And now he has the name of Scarlet Spider, which doesn't matter that they swap names, but Kane is very good character. He has a great, tremendous character development, and I think that makes the difference which one already have powers.
By the way, Mr. Phonic is asking about the celebration theme behind you, and he missed the beginning where Roland was celebrating the fact that we closed out Perfect 10 issue 2.
Not only Roland, Marinus as well. We're all celebrating for Dave's breaking of his campaign, ending of his campaign. Cheers to you again. Tremendous success.
Thanks again.
Such a good excuse to drink a lot tonight.
And Eder Messiah is in the chat. Welcome, Eder.
Hi, Eder.
I'm here just to say Dave was one of the greatest writers I've worked. Thank you a lot for all. Cheers. Now I'll go back to the work. Need to finish page day. Okay, man. Thanks for dropping by, Eder.
Hey, later, man.
Good luck with your work.
Yeah, Eder did the Dream Girl story for me.
Cool.
He was the artist on the Dream Girl book. So, and then you have creators who wait, this is the book Eder worked on.
Okay.
Okay, show again.
Yes.
Ooh, there it is.
I love her design.
Yeah.
I love her design.
Yeah, she's really cool.
This is the cover done by Jim Jimenez, but Eder has his own cover also.
Is it the back?
No, that's also Jim.
Really? But it's still cool.
It's cool.
And then you have creators who think it's cool to pick two popular characters and mix them together, and it should automatically be awesome. For instance, someone thought it was a good idea to mix Wolverine with the Hulk. So you have this character called Weapon H.
Yeah.
And it never made sense to me because now you have this Hulk, this gray Hulk. I think he's gray. And he can extend claws like Wolverine, as if the Hulk needs that, right? And then I think, what about the adamantium skeleton? So because the Hulk grows, so it doesn't work, man.
No, because adamantium cannot, expand. It's metal.
Yeah,
No.
I didn't get it.
No. Yeah, so I think people, writers, creators are way too focused on maybe power sets. They really want to be original. We know that's impossible. Or you have to do a really interesting take,
It is possible,
like the Embrace does, and with the backstory as well. And I think you can create, of course, a new set of powers. But I think don't be so focused on the power set. Be focused on the character.
Yeah,
I think that's the point.
This is true.
David
Feet likes Onslaught. He was kind of a mix of Magneto and Professor X.
Yeah, but I like that because it's a contained storyline.
It was part of the story. Yeah.
Yeah, you had also the storyline. Oh, you had those storylines a lot of. Everybody turned into Hulk one time. Everybody turned into Spider-Man one time. You had all these things.
Now we can also in Venom now, right?
Yeah. I hope it's just
everyone's Venom.
Oh yeah, that's true. Everybody's Venom now. But I already disliked that when Venom was gaining super popularity, and then he had his first own miniseries.
Right.
And awesome series. I think I read the first 6. Enjoyed the first 6 issues. The storyline went further, and then they created more Venom-like characters. We already had Carnage.
Carnage,
but we had Scream, and we had different. And I think, oh come on! And I dropped the book. I don't really like that. That's such lazy writing.
And now Eddie Brock has a son, and guess what? He can do stuff, right? How surprising!
Yeah. Also with the movies, you always have the villain. You have it in each Marvel movie. You guys know I love the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but the trope that you have, especially in the first movie, that the hero fights his counterpart or his villain with exactly the same power, like Iron Man versus Ironmonger. That's just boring. And you had Venom fighting another Venom, but there was not Carnage. They introduced a new Venom in that Sony movie. Come on, guys. Can't you really think something more intriguing and compelling?
Yeah.
Well, that's because Venom has not really a how do you say a rogue galley, because he is a villain mostly himself. I mean, in the older days, but now he's a good guy, and I really don't like that.
No. Every popular villain has to be turned into
the good guy,
a hero or anti-hero, and get their own title, and then it only means you have to create new villains and make those popular, and I don't know, man.
I think it's harder to create a villain than a hero, because what makes a good hero is a great villain.
Yeah.
And what's missing with a lot of heroes is that they're missing great villains, and just making a great villain and reducing him to a superhero is just bad.
Well, okay. To address,
unless you can follow the super villain and can give him his own series, but then he needs to be chased by superheroes. So you see everything from the villain point of view.
Yeah,
and he views superheroes like annoyance and bad guys because he wants. I really think that what we didn't really read in the 60s, but we are now reading more starting from the 90s, 2000s, is that villains are also just people, have problems, and they do the things they do because of reasons and personal reasons, but they really think they do the best in their own or the family's interest. Sometimes they are selfish, but I don't think everybody thinks of themselves to being a villain, unless you're really psychopath like the Joker. Yeah. Then let him do something villainous, but it doesn't be villainous from his point of view. And then let the heroes chase him. That could be an awesome story in there.
What I really like is one of the most compelling, well, not compelling, but a really, evil villain is still, for me, Dr. Doom. and I mean old Doctor Doom. Why? Because not only was a counterpart genius of Reed Richards, but also he's a ruler of a country, and he does terrible acts, but still, because through fear and maybe brainwashing or whatever you can call it, people still from Latveria adore him, although he is mostly a tyrant. But in fact, Doctor Doom really loves his people, although with an iron fist. And what I like about him is about his not only his genius, but also his whole appearance, and that he has a damaged face. I mean, he thinks he has a very damaged face, and at some point his face was very damaged. But sometimes there was also a case that he has only a scar, but he found himself too hideous, and then he has to do the mask and then the whole monarch thing, and then he uses technology in his suits, different than Iron Man, but still cool. But now he has magic powers like Doctor Strange, and it's been for a long time. I know that, but it takes, I don't know, I mean, maybe out of it that he is becoming too strong, because is he on par or next level to Doctor Strange? What threat can Fantastic Four then,
But that's perfect. I think Doctor Doom is such a great character.
Yeah.
He wants to have all power, and also to be benevolent in his own twisted way. If you read, of course, Secret Wars, he really wants to have all powers because he thinks like the Beyonder is a threat for the universe. So he wants to gain his own power, but he's easily corrupted. And I really think he started off like from a technology kind of viewpoint. And then he has, the intellect of Reed Richards, and he has a kind of metal harness like Tony Stark. So they get in conflict with each other quite often. And then he learned himself to be this master sorcerer. Yeah. I think the mix with technology and sorcery, it's really on par, or really complements his character. So I think Doctor Doom had can get away from that with his evolving power set.
Yeah, I don't know.
He wasn't born with it. He really learned to do magic.
Well, that's true. They don't give him to him, just like Doctor Strange is doing that now with Ms. Marvel in their latest comic, because he's got new powers again. That's another topic for another day. What I'm trying to say, basically, I don't know, but I don't know. I think he is a little bit too powerful. I just loved, the evil genius Doctor Doom before he gets, the magical power. But I must agree that he learns also that he wants to, get his mother out of hell and battling Mephisto. So maybe that has to do something that he wants to learn magic.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know what? Seeing from the perspective like that, okay, I can see your point. I can see your point.
Yeah, but David Feeds doesn't seem to like magic.
But I kind of agree with David Feed. If you have a rule set for your powers or for your magic, that's fine, but define the rules. And if you don't have rule set, they can do anything with magic, and I think that's lame as well. I don't know about you. I think somebody asked Dave in live stream how Perfect 10, how much he would flex to get this body, and I don't know if they, when he's writing characters. So immediately a question for Dave. I don't know if you write characters and you give them specific strength or powers. If you kind of write down for yourself, okay, she can lift like steady a car, and the car is like average this and this weight, so she has this and this muscle power in her. So how hard can she punch? I don't know if you write these rules up for yourself, or you just go along with the story and you will flex.
No, you have to have rules, because otherwise you can basically think anything in a situation, and if you pass the character on to a different writer to use in a story, and they need to have a set rules. For instance, for Perfect 10, she's 10 times as strong as a normal fit woman. So I have to make calculations. What is it she can do, and what's the limit. And she's not overpowered, but she's pretty tough, you know. So that's cool. And I have this character called Dream Girl Sleeper Agent, who basically has some sort of magic because she can alter the dream dimension. She can travel to the dream world and alter it, and she can take part of that power with her in the real world. But in the real world, it depletes. So when she uses it and it's out, she has to travel back to the dream world to recharge. So it has limits, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that makes a very intriguing and compelling power set. It has rules. It has limits. It's not like you have superpower that suddenly throws his super symbol to some villains and they're defeated.
You know, like Captain Marvel, who gets a new power every month or so. Something like that.
So Dave asked about Amalgam Comics. Yeah, we know that.
I like that. I like the whole Amalgam storyline. It was fun, actually. It was a cool collaboration between Marvel and DC. And as you can see here, this is the Ghost Rider and the Flash.
Yes.
Combined. And we have also Wolverine and Batman's called Darklaw. Exactly. And we had Green Lantern and Iron Man become Iron Lantern or something like that.
Yeah. And this kind of worked because it was it was its own dimension, its own story. It was contained and just playing around with characters we all knew, and we knew it was temporary. So it was a fun concept.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah,
Dave, you talked I think last week about you like that DC brings up new characters you want to follow or new books.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Which one?
Yeah.
Is it for the characters, for the power set? Are they original? I don't know about the series. I don't know about the characters.
Can you name the series?
You're intrigued by the DCs.
One character was kind of the Hulk version of DC. He's called Damage, and so basically he is in essence the same as the Hulk, that he can change, but they gave him the limit that once he transforms, he will revert back to his human form in 60 minutes. So that was pretty interesting.
The Thor had a kind of limit on his power as well. When he lost his hammer, he reverted back to Blake.
Wait a minute.
Was that true as well?
Yeah, that's possible.
I like these limitations.
Yeah. And then you have the Silencer. The Silencer was one of the new characters, and she had the power to create a bubble around her that's negated all sounds. So it was completely silent. So she could kill people without anyone hearing. And then you had Sideways, which was based loosely on Spider-Man, and he can teleport between rifts, dimensional rifts. So it's a little bit like web slinging without webs.
Yeah, he was basically some kind of a Spider-Man character, right? And he was yeah. Before we go any further, because I'm confused with the DC character called Damage. I mean, there's Damage, that is a small guy who has explosive powers. But the one that you need, was that one from the New 52? The big guy with the okay. Yeah,
big gray bold Hulk.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Silencer is cool. Yeah, really like her. She has a real cool power set.
Yeah, and the fourth one was a team much like Fantastic Four, but it was put together with existing characters. It was just a combination. There was new yet Mr. Terrific and Elastic Man and Metamorpho, and one new character.
It's called. She's from. She's I believe. Not Invisible Girl, but she's part. Well, not this character, but she's the character, the name is part of the 31st century heroes, the Legion of Superheroes, but then coming back into our.
Okay.
Well, I'm probably a little bit confused, but I know what you mean. It's more.
I forgot it. I think she had the power to become intangible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they because they couldn't do the family aspect that you have with the Fantastic Four that keeps them together. In this story, they created something some force that held them together, because if they went.
Phantom Girl.
Sorry? Phantom Girl. Yeah, right. Yeah. So anyway, they had this some kind of force that compelled them to stay together.
Yeah.
Well, it was interesting. One last thing I think about superpowers that I could mention.
Can I add something? What do you think about the latest series of Shazam with the Shazam family?
I don't read DC anymore.
Oh, okay. It was really cool.
Just these new characters.
I'm kind of think prejudgmentful, but I don't really like comics with families. I like John Byrne's Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
that's my best. But but otherwise, every kind of family-related super team, it's not for me. I kind of enjoyed Bionic 6, but not that much.
What
talking about the diverse family, it's Bionic 6.
Exactly.
Way in the 80s, guys. Way in the 80s. I don't know. I'm not that with the families going on a rampage.
All right. So you didn't like the Pixar family? It's called
to be honest, not that really. I like the movie. I like the story, but it's fine. I'm not going to be over excited about that.
Okay. So David Feet knows Evangelion. The robots needed to be plugged to a power outlet, otherwise they had like 2 minutes to fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to charge them. It's like your phone.
Yeah.
Oh man, Evangelion. That's a long time ago.
Okay, so sometimes I talk to people about stories I'm working on and characters, and I remember telling someone about one character called Scintilla, who has the power to get really small. And his immediate reaction was, "Oh, that's like Ant-Man. That's unoriginal," which is really funny, because in the same team you had one character that could fly, one character that was really strong, and if you do that, no one tells you that it's not original. It's some powers are just accepted as base powers, and everyone can use them. And then when you go into more specific powers, like elasticity, for instance, then people accuse you of copying things.
Yeah.
While I think it makes no sense to create your own superhero universe and deprive yourself of these powers, because they are used in other universes. You just have to give them a new spin, a new angle.
Exactly. And combined with a great character, with a great personality that adds or counter adds, or how you say, counter to the power, is counter to the power.
Welcome, Ryu.
Hi, Ryu.
Hi, Ryu, man.
Cheers.
There is a group of super villains from DC that I really liked back in the day. It's the super villains. The superhero's name is from Teen Titans, and then the group is called the Fearsome Five. It has great characters. There's also a strong Hulk character like Mammoth, and I believe she has a sister that can disintegrate people. Later, there's another girl called kind of a witch, and then we have the leader of the group is called Simon, if I'm saying that correctly, with the brain in the bubble, and some tech,
Shimmer.
Shimmer. Oh yeah, Shimmer, and we have the little tech guy, that can use of kind of weaponry.
It's the combination. It's the group dynamic. You can take powers from other sources and mingle them together in a different form, and then you get a complete new team.
Right.
So and these were villains too. So that was pretty cool.
Exactly, and they are. I believe the Teen Titans has more people in the group, but although the Fearsome Five was have less people, they still give them a very good challenge. Battling like Teen Flash or Kid Flash, and then Wonder Girl and Robin and Starfire and Cyborg and then the green guy, I forgot, Beast Boy, I believe.
Beast Boy, and
Raven. But this was a really cool villains with cool power sets. So I got a question for you guys. Which power do you really like the most, and which power do you dislike the most? Well, I know for you that the rubber guy, Roland. So
I don't really like my arms or legs to be rubbery.
Can't imagine. It could be handy with dishwashing, right? Have rubber hands. And
I can't imagine rubbery limbs to be good for anything.
A lot of friction.
Even if David Feed or whoever has a kind of idea, you can maybe do some other things that you need waterproof resistant things for. I don't really think. No.
I have to really think about that. I kind of like all powers when used correctly. Sometimes even stupid powers. You had the New Mutants or the New Warriors. At some point, they had this fat guy who had the power to talk with bacteria. It was really strange, but it's fun. It's fun. Why not, man? And I saw this movie once with I think it's a Russian movie called Guardians or
yeah, right?
Yeah. And you have this beautiful woman who has the power to become invisible, but only when she's wet. That's really stupid, man. That's putting such a limit on a character. That's
especially when you're
makes
a man.
No sense. Yeah, especially when well, they probably thought about that to put in specific scenes, but I don't really like overpowered characters. So characters that are I like Superman. I think he's too much. You have this new animated movie right now of the Justice League. And you have Superman fighting Brainiac, and the entire battle makes little sense because Brainiac fires at him with a beam, and you'd say Superman is super fast. He can just move out of the way, and it's very difficult to defeat Superman with a beam. And all these things that the writers just ignored because they couldn't handle the power level of Superman. No, I don't like that. I like my superheroes to be vulnerable.
Right.
So
that's what attracts me to the Marvel characters most of the times.
But it can be done right. The Sentry, for instance, I like him. He's very powerful, but he has this weird schizophrenic tendencies, and
every time he uses his own power, there's this balance, this darkness, this void, coming up. Right when he uses his power or something, there is a counterbalance, and that creates the void. If I remember it correctly. I think that's intriguing because you have a super strong character, but you also have that's not right in his head, and you have a very dark counterbalance. I think that's one thing I believe in life most. everything needs to be, or everything is in balance, or needs to be in balance. And I think that's that's a nice way also to look at powers, maybe, and not to have a villain the same powers as the hero, but that you can kind of combine or connect.
Like that's why I think the leader is a fantastic villain for the Hulk. It's basically the same starting position, but it went different ways. I really like that. And David Feed mentions the movie Guardians of Light. I don't remember the light part. I just know it's called Guardians. But yeah. Okay, guys. Is there anything else we have to mention about superpowers?
Well, speaking of powers, I must go back to the Legion of Superheroes. There was a group called the Substitute Heroes. Those were basically rejected legionnaires because their power sets wasn't, good enough, and they formed their own team. But they are basically a bunch of misfits, and let me see if I can share it, because Gary Frank did a Superman storyline, the artist, and when Superman was, how do you say, they in the future they rewrote the history, and there is a villain called Earthman, and Earthman is basically the hero now. So Superman comes back to the future, and that in the storylines was that Superman was the evil guy, and they want to erase his history, and then he was a killer of aliens, etc. And so there was a big storyline. So he came back, and then somehow he doesn't have the powers anymore because of the sun was red. And then there was at the end was the Substitute Heroes. They came to the rescue, and that storyline is so cool. I tried to find it while talking. Gary Frank, Superman.
Then
oh yeah, I got it. So let me show it to you guys if I can make it a little bit bigger. So where is it? God, I tried to. Okay, why can I not enlarge cover? Okay. Well, this is very small, but I'm going to show you anyway. Can I share the screen?
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Show us.
So share screen, and they have a really bizarre power sets that I want to that I really liked, although it's a very niche. So this is the story, Superman and Legion of Superheroes, by Jeff Johns and Gary Frank. Highly recommended, by the way, in my opinion. And then we have these guys. So we have Nightwoman. She is super strong, but she can only activate that power at night. Then we have this, I don't know all the names, but you have this guy on the right here. He can turn himself into stone, but he cannot move. So
is he a Jedi?
That's a good one. Yeah. I'm not sure. And then we have this guy behind him. He can breathe fire. So that's his only power. This guy has ice powers. And then this is Chlorophyll Kid, I believe. And he can make plants grow, like poison ivy.
Right. Yeah.
And well, this is another guy. He's matter eater mad. He can only eat everything.
Yeah, so that was a weird one.
Yeah, exactly.
Only DC can make up characters with really weird powers.
Exactly.
Goofy powers.
Yeah. So we have the Phantom Girl. We have Saturn Girl. I believe this is Dream Girl. Not entirely sure. And this is Night Girl. I don't know. I just like the whole.
We're all girls.
Yeah, I love girls, but yeah. But I love that, with Legion of Superheroes, they have all mostly one power, just like mutants. And I love that there is some kind of a limitation on that. Yeah. Even this is basically the better picture that I have of her. This is in the Gary Frank. This is I forgot her name. What cannot see, but she has some kind of darkness powers. Looks really cool. And then we have also Ultra Boy, who can switch one superpower from another. He has basically Superman powers, but he can only use that one at a time. So when he flies, he cannot use his X-ray vision. So he needs to switch it all. That makes it very difficult to, use it in battle. But also he needs to be tactical.
Would be funny if he had would have a reboot time. It takes some time to switch from power.
Yeah,
like 1 minute or 30 seconds.
Yeah, then Ultra Boy was a badass. It's Ultra Boy. Sorry, it's not Ultraman. Maybe it's Ultraman now, but at that time it was Ultra Boy.
There's also an Ultraman, right?
Yeah. So and he got a freaking great costume. I really love that. Look at that.
Yeah, it's
really cool. And he has a family with pirates or something, or the pirates, hunting him or somehow, and then he fled into some kind of a beast, and then that beast has some kind of energy, and he got the powers from that beast. I don't know. I just really love this character, and he can, like I said, use it one at a time. Mm-hmm. He's great. He's great.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
This kind of brings up to a Masonic comment about a hero with superpowers that are absolutely totally useless.
Yeah,
we have some, right?
Yeah,
there are some.
There are some. Yeah, I know there are two with the X-Men with completely stupid powers.
Hi, boy.
One was a character. I forgot the name. One was a character with the power to blow himself up. But
he can only use it once.
Yeah, but the downside was he can only do it once because he would be dead. So, and then another stupid character was, I think his name was Forget Me Not. He had the power to be forgotten. So he has been a part of the X-Men from the beginning, but no one remembers him. It's really stupid. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, internet gas. Yeah,
I already thought that Speedball was a
no, Speedball was great. No, Speedball was awesome.
So if you let's say you can acquire a power, what would it be?
I don't know. It would be a surprise. I think.
Like
if I could choose, maybe that's.
Yeah, that's my question. Sorry. Do you want to be invisible? Do you have X-ray vision? Do you want to fly? Do you want to be invulnerable, super strong, super hearing, telepathic?
To create money, to create a lot of money.
I think every power has this double-edged sword. If you would want powers that are super empathic, that you are really feeling for people, that can be a downside because all strong negative emotions as well. Can make you depressed. Every power has this. I don't know. It's always every gift has its curse. So I don't know. But I have to say my most popular, let's say character, not power set. But my most popular character is Invisible Woman. I already think I told before that I was kind of in love with her when John Byrne drew her. But I think her power set has evolved in a good way. Having invisible powers and then but I don't know. I would do nasty, sneaky things with that power. Not really
like
righteous.
What? Like what, Roland? Tell me all about it.
I don't know.
That's the thing also, that superpowers, if they existed in real life, you would see a lot of people abusing their powers. There would be far more super villains than superheroes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, what Ryu says with My Secret Identity. That guy had the power to float, but he needed gas cans to leviate, to go high and down.
Okay.
Yeah. You guys don't remember the show anymore? My Secret Identity? With the same actor that played in not Quantum Leap, in that went from reality to reality. Damn.
All right.
Was it? I know what you mean. I know. Yeah, it's just like Quantum Leap, but then different.
Sliders.
Sliders. That's it.
Sliders. That's it. Yeah. I never saw My Secret Identity. Okay.
No, me
Sliders
neither.
was fun. Although, yeah, it's fun.
I don't know it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the Apists Binsonin asked me to show my Spider-Man shirt also. I'm not sure why, but it's really washed out. It's not only Spider-Man. I have this for many years, and it has been washed like 1,000 times, so it's not really clear. The art is not really good, so it's not worth it.
So,
Sliders, yes.
Did it shrunk also, Dave? Is it until here?
No. It fits perfectly fine still. So
okay.
But yeah.
I had to stretch my shirt because mine has shrunk a bit. Or I grew. But I will leave that in the middle.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay,
guys.
Yeah, I think. Like I said, it's a hard topic. I mean, interesting superpowers, and can we create one? I mean, I think there's also some elements that we can throw into a character when it comes to interesting superpowers, but also like Roland said, it doesn't matter what your superpower is if you have an interesting character.
Yeah.
For instance, let me think about a superpower that I really don't like, but when it comes to an interesting character, I have to think, because there's a lot of people with strength. I have absolutely no idea.
Is this the show, Roland?
This is the show. And I forgot he couldn't get hurt.
Okay.
I think that's lame as well. If you can't feel pain, you don't know when your fingers are broken or whatever.
Oh, okay.
I think pain is a very good thing to have.
Yeah.
You don't have pain.
I'm working on my own superhero team that are kind of rejects. So in this universe, in the Jamie universe, you have all these superheroes, and they get paid, but there are also heroes that can't pass the training. So they form their own group, and so I'm working on that and coming up with powers that kind of not work. Like one guy can grow really big, like a Goliath, but he grows big when he gets anxious, and he gets anxious when he's inside, because he grew big once inside, and he destroyed everything. So now he lives on the street constantly.
Maybe I had too much beer, but you were referring he gets big when he gets anxious, and when he gets anxious, he's inside.
Yes.
And when he's inside, he grows big.
Exactly.
And then he destroys everything.
Yes.
Cool.
So does it quite work? That's those are fun things to think about. But
yeah.
I mean, I always like. I mean, when it comes to superpowers, mostly people just are healthy, and they don't have side effects. But there is some, superheroes that have a tragic, well, maybe super villain that has a tragic ending, but also became super villains like Cyber Superman. And the origin stories that they went into space, like Fantastic Four. They have Fantastic Four like powers, and then Hank Henshaw, who became Cyber Superman, he was dying because of the radiation. You see him that he is disintegrating. Well, not so disintegrating, but he is. You see the skeleton goes through his skin, etc. So he's basically dying, and then he goes into the computer and became later Cyber Superman. And all those other characters are from that group that went into space are dead, and like the UFOs from like Ironclad as an Ironclad character, he has, I don't know, became heavy or something, and he was dead or something, or experiment. And then he has the Johnny Storm character. He went crazy because of the powers, and he went into space. He was also dead. And then you have the Sue Storm character. She was cured because she became invisible, but then she saw Hank Henshaw in a robot form, and she went mad, and she threw herself outside and basically killed herself. So yeah, it's it's a very tragic storyline. But I always like the part that if you acquire superpowers, it doesn't always end well for you.
No.
Yeah.
Especially when you're going inside and you're a group break.
You think it's funny. Here, you and Mr. Phonic, the biggest pervs, are on the same page. Congrats! Okay. And then we have...
Probably we're the least mature ones in this this
feed. David talked about the movie Push.
Yes. Nice.
Different take on powers. Telekinesis, sound waves, mind control, and drawing the future. Yeah, you had like 4 or 5 different power sets. There weren't more, and there were several people with the same powers, but there were only 5 different.
Yeah,
I think in the movie Push.
What about
Push? That's kind of pervy, right?
What about that new movie? How's it called? The sequel of Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Oh yeah.
I only know
the newest one, where you had a girl and she could draw things, and she took it out, and then it became reality.
Oh, cool!
It became these monsters.
All right.
I think it's cool.
Yeah. Well, that's a strong character because you can imagine anything on paper and it becomes reality.
Yeah, but it takes a while to draw. Or you can draw a lot of stickman. You have an arm, your stickman.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's easy to draw.
Yeah. Oh, man.
But she was like, and she took like 5 seconds to create a big mesh monster.
Cool.
And all the other kids with superpowers, they were fighting the monsters. Well, nobody thought, oh, let's just grab that pencil block of her.
Yeah.
But also the kids, I think one kid had slow powers. He didn't have fast powers, he had slow powers.
Like the turtle in The Flash? Became
I don't know. I watched the movie kind of sideways, but I think there were a lot of, in these kids movies, I think there are a lot of lame and super funny powers. Maybe it's a good inspiration for creators that are stuck with just copying already the same powers.
Cool.
Lava Girl.
Ryu says,
Lava Girl. Sharkman.
Also. Like Spider-Man, he's still mutating, I believe, as he became a spider. There was one storyline and he became a spider.
Yeah, but those are storylines. Those powers don't stick usually. Already in the 70s, he gained 4 more arms because of his mutation in his blood. And of course, when they went to the Spider-Man Totem storyline, he became a kind of spider just to reinvent himself, and he had suddenly these Wolverine kind of claws, and he was shooting web from his butt. No, his wrists, like Tobey Maguire did in the movie.
Yeah.
But they redacted everything again, so those things are like trends. It's okay.
Yeah, there was also a storyline that became a spider in Marvel Fanfare.
As well.
Yeah, indeed, and they went to the jungle of where Keza is living. I believe, I don't know what the land's called anymore.
Yeah, the Lost Land or something.
Lost Land, something like
Savage
that.
Land.
Savage Land, exactly. And then I believe there was something to do with Magneto or with the flying lizard thing. I forgot his name.
That's okay.
Sauron,
exactly.
Sauron, yeah. I think all those characters that have developing powers, or even just in the storyline or in the long term, that's fine. You have the Hulk is being evolved and mutating constantly. Wolverine as well, like we said. Superman apparently has now supernova powers, like the Human Torch. I don't know. It keeps going, and they go back. We had one time the Superman made of energy, right?
Yeah. So maybe one question, one small side topic we could cover to end this with.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that the stories of a particular superhero could go on for too long?
Yes.
So, for instance, when you start having 20 different copies of the same hero, and you the examples you mentioned, Roland, perhaps it's time to put different characters in the spotlight. You've explored every story, every angle, every possibility with a specific character, and even then they continue with it because it gives them money.
That's such a bad decision. We had in the 90s, we had every 12 issues in Amazing Spider-Man, we had a Venom 3-issue Venom storyline, 2 issues.
Mm-hmm.
You could every year, and now you have every year, an event at Marvel, but then you had every year Venom. I was kind of fed up with that character. It's interesting when the same with when you eat something. When you eat something a lot, you don't, even if you like it, after time you don't like it anymore, even if it's your favorite dish. The best things, you really like, you need to save as well for later things. And now you have an overabundance, oversaturation of Venom characters, Venom series, and I don't, and they can't do anything anymore with the Eddie Brock character because they so fucked him over, overutilized him, and then they are looking for other characters like they already did with Cletus Cassidy, I think he was called, for Carnage.
Yeah.
And then suddenly his wife, Mary Ann, or how was she called? Mary Wynn, Ann Wynn, was getting a Venom costume. Come on, guys. And then the Scorpion head, which I kind of like that, but because it was of the Thunderbolt storyline.
Yeah, it was new.
But
Flash Thompson.
No, Flash Thompson. It's such a radical difference that it's not really Venom anymore. But then, it's okay. But no, I really think there is an end date on villains, but also on superheroes.
Yeah. For me, I think we need to get rid of all the Spider-Mans, all the Spider-Womans, all the whatever. Just go back to the core. Have maybe 1, 2. When it comes to Spider-Man, have Ben Reilly, have maybe, how do you say, Spider-Woman and I don't know, Kane, something like that. Get rid of all the family, with all the Hulks and with all the Iron Mans, and well, maybe not the Iron Man, but you know what I mean. Get rid of all that. Go back to the core of the character, make them special again. I mean, just like you said, Roland, there was a time in the 90s that even Wolverine was almost in every comic.
Yeah,
and they do that exactly with Deadpool. I cannot stand that character anymore. I just really cannot stand it.
And we love the character. We really loved it. But they ran its course.
Yeah. They overexposed him. Yeah,
and I don't know about you guys, and I'm not that familiar with the DC comics. I know, of course, and I read the Batman movie comics, but I'm not over. I don't read every comic, so I still really love the Joker, and I don't know how many times the Joker has been copied. I know he has his face burned off, and he was glued back on with a permanent smile. I don't know, like a leather kind of face. Yeah. But I didn't experience that. For me, when I buy, when I browse through the comics, I see a Batman comic. I say, "Oh, the Joker's in there." I still read it with a lot of fun because I'm not oversaturated with all these Jokers maybe running around. And maybe I'm wrong. I think the Joker is one of the best villains that still hasn't been successfully copied.
True.
I followed the Gotham series for 3 seasons.
Yeah.
And then they came up with the Joker, which wasn't really actually the Joker. And then because, the Joker couldn't exist before Batman could exist. So, and then the season after they came with another kind of Joker and then another one. So I was confused and I didn't like it anymore. But then in hindsight, maybe that is part of the Joker because that's why I love Joker. His background is so unknown. He lies about it all the time, and I really love that in the Christopher Nolan movie when every time he was going to talk about his origin, he made another story up.
Yeah, I love the Joker. That's me. I just, like I said, I always go back to where it all began, because for me that's the true origin with all of the characters, because that's how the creators intended to make the character. Like that the Joker fell in a vat of chemicals, and then he went crazy and he turned into the Red Hood, or there was before that, and then after that he became the Joker. For me, that's still the true origin. And of course, there's some different, origins after that. But for me, I don't know. It's just that's where it all began. Just like with the Green Lantern, just with the Flash, with all the chemicals on his in his laboratory. I don't know. I just like the classics. It speaks to the imagination. That is a bunch of chemicals that falls on you, and it gives you super speeds. But then they changed it that the lightning is coming in at the same time. I know that's not changing it. I believe that was part of the storyline. So, but yeah, I don't know. It's just like it.
Okay. Good night, David.
Good night, David. I think you're ready to go.
Okay, guys. It's been 90 minutes. We're over in 90 minutes.
Oh,
so
Jesus,
I think we should end it right here. So, any closing statements?
Nope.
You better create good characters with amazing power sets. Could be the same power sets, Dave, but write those characters.
Yeah, man.
Okay, man. Okay, thanks again, guys, for doing this with me.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, man.
I didn't know we could talk this long about superpowers. It was really cool.
I was surprised as well.
So now, if we can talk this long about this topic, I think we can talk about any topic.
Yeah.
Well,
Bye-bye, Mr. Phonic. Good night, man.
Good night.
Thanks for joining us.
Till next time, guys.
Everyone in the chat, see you next time. Thanks for coming. See you next time. Bye-bye.